Do-It-Yourself Dell here again, and we're going to go through some kitchen items today. One follow-up in regards to the floor is that at a future video we're going to be bringing in the compressor and the nail gun and shoot some quarter round around the perimeter of the floor, where you can see that there's some gaps here, and that quarter round will cover those. And so that's one thing we'll be doing in the future. Another addition to this kitchen was this area here used to be loaded, jam-packed with non-kitchen items. All those are gone. There was everything there, shoes, all kinds of things. Now it's got a functional stove here, which is great for cooking pizza and fish and everything, and so that area is now a useful part of the kitchen. So that was a big improvement. I put in this little shelf here that holds a can opener and some other products, and the phone, and a little item that gives you the relative humidity and the temperature, a tea pot, and I got a tea kettle here, and so that worked out pretty good. And also we have Alexa here, so I'll give you an example of one thing. Alexa, turn off the kitchen. We're on TV, Alexa. Alexa, turn off the kitchen.
Okay.
There, so you see that she turned off the lights. Alexa, turn on the kitchen lights.
Okay.
There. So there's that. And what was the other thing? The microwave used to be here. It's now there. We tried mounting it up here, and it just wasn't going to work. So that's why we put it there. But we did give it seriously consideration to try to get it up there, and it just wasn't going to work. There aren't any studs behind this wall. Was one of the considerations. The microwave's kind of heavy, and so it's worked out pretty well the way it is. The kitchen's become much more functional, and the space, and it's also a work in progress. This business here is going to be at some point be disappeared. It's going to go the way of the dinosaurs. It's not going to be there any longer, and then we'll just have a table that can function as a table. Looking around here for any... So I'm going to go over here and show you something else. For the temperature in here, sometimes it's warmer outside than it is in here. These fans are reversible, and one can go out and one in. It's got versatility to it, and what we used for the big use for this summer was to get the hot air in the house out. So the fans were positioned in the exhaust option, and it cooled the house down somewhat. And at night, when the outside temperature was lower than the inside, that was the main reason. And the big idea this summer was to get the cooler air in here, and these things work fabulously. You can run them all night long if you want, and then when the day starts warming up, you can turn them off or whatever you want. And so this dial here is the magnitude of it, and up here is the intake and exhaust, again separate, and then here is the speed. Low, medium, high, and let's see, low, high, medium, and low. So you got, what's that down there? Oh, and off. Okay, so 3 speeds plus off. You can have one off and one on. Very versatile, very useful. And then you can see here, we're still on this floor. It's gotten I put in the transom here, the threshold. This part of it's already done with the quarter round already installed, and that one went. That's done part of the project. So that's about it for the kitchen. Installed these little items here for smaller items. We've got a power panel here. We've got another power panel up on top of the refrigerator. So we've got a lot of versatility, electrically speaking. And also, could you move that camera back? At one point, this refrigerator was not cleaned for quite a while. And then a certain person and persons kind of cleaned it. And it's compared to what it was, keep up with it a little, but compared to what it was, it's just amazing the difference. The same thing here. It's just amazing how clean. It took some elbow grease and some effort and some consistency to get it to what it's like now, but it's an old refrigerator. It's still working. And all by way of saying, if you're the kind of person that lets things go and doesn't really want to clean things, I recommend cleaning it. It's more efficient. Without all there was maybe a crust on here about at least 1/8 of an inch, right? In some places more. And so the refrigerator had to be shut off. And as I say, it took a great deal of elbow grease to do it, but by persistence, we got the item cleaned and a little bit of rejuvenate paint took care of some spots there. So that's a big improvement over what was. So there's that. So there's some of the items in the kitchen that have been taken care of, and there's still it's a work in project. It's a work in progress, and it's still being certain things are going to be neatened up as we go, and they've been neatened up already. But it's still by no means considered a complete end of progress involved here. It's still gonna be improved, as are other areas. So that's our attitude on things. It's not that we get to a certain point and then that's it, or we still keep looking. But one thing, I'll say this generally about projects: once you do a project, a few days later, you look things over and an idea will pop into your head. Hey, what about this other thing? And it wouldn't happen that way unless you had your initial project and you accomplished your ideas with that. And then it opens its way to other things. So if it's that way with you, we're kind of thinking that it might be. So subscribite y comenta.